Wrestling.
Oh yeah, welcome to another edition of Grind City Wrestling. It's episode 288. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or listening. Follow us at Grind City Media. Also, you can check out the archives with wrestling's biggest stars and interviews we've done throughout the years, grindcitymedia.com/podcast. And I can't wait to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the program, we will talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. And we have a special guest, former WWE superstar, current TNA Wrestling superstar, Top Dollar, AJ Francis is going to join us live. But first, it is bell time. Introducing my co-host, my tag team partner. He really needs no introductions. One of the best follows on social media in all of Memphis, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Devin Walker. Baby!
How you doing, 5-star? First, I want to open up by saying rest in peace to Sid Vicious, man. He's a legend in the business. He right across the bridge from us.
Oh yeah.
So I want to rest in peace to Sid Vicious, a legend in the business. My car. Everybody knows that little clip when he went outside and Goldberg ruined his car.
The master.
Yeah,
and ruler of the world. I'm glad you mentioned him right off the top. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I'll talk about him a little bit more here in just a little bit because 1996 Sid Vicious was the man.
Shout out Sid, man. Sycho Sid. Did it for the big guys, man. The original big guy.
That's right.
One of the OG big guys in the building. He set the lane for guys like Test, like Kevin Nash.
How is Test the first guy that you ever mentioned?
I don't know why I named Test first. That's crazy.
What?
Test.
Anyway, be sure to follow Devin on social media at Devin_Walker2. We're not going to waste any time here. We do have a big rundown. We're going to discuss the best wrestling that we watched all week. We might talk a little bit about AEW All In. There's also a list.
We got a list to talk about, man.
Bleacher Report that you had a major problem with, and that's the top 25 best theme songs of all time in pro wrestling. And who better to talk about it with than AJ Francis? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it.
Yeah, I'm headed to the top.
Joining us here on Grind City Wrestling is TNA Wrestling superstar AJ Francis. What's going on, my man?
Yeah. Good, man. I'm good. How you been, man? It's been a while since I've been to Memphis.
I know. It's about time for you to come back, right?
Absolutely. I'll try to leave the John Morant lines out of my promo this
Yeah,
time.
let's not do that one this time. I don't know if you liked that last time when you dropped the John Morant line. Cause look, man, I know your music is a thumper. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got some beef with the list we'll talk about. But can you tell me why the Joe Hendry song may be one of the greatest theme songs of all time?
It isn't.
Right off the top, talking about Joe Hendry. You know, I missed the boat on that, right, AJ? You know, I missed.
Hey, hold on. Hey, when did you hear about Joe Hendry?
I mean, I might have heard about him, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe? 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Okay.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
That's what it is?
Hey, true story, AJ. Devin, about 3 months ago, I think this is when the feud started, Joe Hendry and AJ Francis. A couple of the guys at the Wrestle Center.
January.
Did it? Well, so it might have been 4 or 5 months ago, all right? So somebody told me about this guy named Joe Hendry, and I was like, who? Who's that? And I had no idea. And now I'm trying to book him, and he won't take the call. So
he got the AJ rub? Is it the AJ Francis rub that got him to the top?
Hey, man, I'm going to say this. The two most talked about, most successful, I would say, feuds in TNA this year are Joe Hendry and AJ Francis, and PCO and AJ Francis. So what's the common denominator? Don't worry, I'll wait.
No lies detected. All right, now I'm going to put you on the spot here because this is obvious. I mean, there's a partnership with TNA Wrestling and WWE. We've seen Joe Hendry. He could possibly win the NXT Championship. Of course, the internet's reporting that AJ Francis was backstage for some of this. Bro, come on. When you going back?
Spin the block.
It's coming.
You know, they know my number. They sure as hell knew it when they fired me 2 times.
They brought you back too, brother.
They know how to get in contact with me. My number ain't changed since 2002.
I respect it. I want to ask you this. Did you see the list, AJ? You see the list of the top theme songs? You see it?
Nah, I ain't seen the list.
So Bleacher Report put out a list of the top 25 theme songs of all time, right? And of course, you know, number one was what, Stone Cold, right?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Stone Cold, Taker. Can you rattle off real quick? I want to get your top 3 or top 4 theme songs of all time that are not.
Well, yeah, from a
They're
musician.
They're from a musician himself who makes music himself.
Yeah.
What are the top 4, top 5 theme songs, wrestling theme songs of all time for you?
So musician and also high-level professional wrestler and sports entertainer. All right, here's the top 5
Yeah.
from Bleacher Report. Number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you hear the glass, that's your ass, right? Number 2, The Undertaker. Number 3 is Chris Jericho, and it doesn't specify if it was a WWE or AEW, but I would imagine that.
No, let's be serious.
It's
It's
the
definitely
AEW.
Judas for sure.
Yeah, number.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? Which one is it?
His best theme song is "Yeah, you know I gotcha."
Yep.
Yeah, break the wall down.
Yes.
Anybody who says that's not his best theme song is lying to themselves. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
And that's why I said it didn't specify, because I am with you 100%. All right, number 4 is the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that one's overrated.
And number 5, and no disrespect at all, but number 5 is Edge.
Which one?
I mean, I can see that. I can see that. People really like Edge's theme song. Like, my list is very different from this list, but rattle off the next 20 for me, just in rapid order fashion.
Yeah, all right, so that's the top 5. Number 6 is The Rock, 7, Batista, 8, Bret Hart, 9, CM Punk, 10, Triple H. I've gone through the top 10, and I don't have Kurt Angle, I don't have a John Cena, I don't have a Ric Flair,
Cena get
DX.
disrespected on this list, bro. That
Yeah, for sure. Keep going. I want to hear what they said.
Let's see. So I have 11, Hulk Hogan, 12, Shawn Michaels, 13, Cody Rhodes, 14, John Cena, 15, Kurt Angle, 16, The Ultimate Warrior, 17, Bray Wyatt, 18, Ric Flair, 19, DX, 20, RVD, 21, Roman Reigns, 22, Rey Mysterio, 23, Randy Orton, which they're singing his song now, 24, Shinsuke Nakamura, and 25, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy needs to be higher.
Okay. So the way that y'all started this convo, I thought y'all was going to say that Joe Hendry made that list and I was going to burn the list.
He needs to be on the list, though, to be honest with you, bro. They're singing that shit word for word.
Come on.
No, he doesn't.
It's a fad, right?
I wouldn't say it's a fad. I mean, he's been working on it. It can't be a fad because it's been out 5 years. Y'all just figured it out. So
Good point.
it can't be a fad. So, right now, if I had to guess my top 5 wrestling theme songs of all time, one of them didn't make the list at all. Mark Henry.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Which was the 36 Mafia joint?
Yeah. Somebody go get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Somebody go get their wig split.
Yeah.
Hey, another one that's low key that I really like.
I would also say John Cena would definitely be in my top 5, not 14. The Rock would definitely be in my top 5. Bret Hart would definitely be in my top 5.
So that's 4. You're giving me 4.
Give me one more.
What's funny is that if we didn't have this conversation, I probably wouldn't have put this in my top 5. But now that we talked about it, and I really remember growing up and how much I really loved that theme song, it's "Break the Walls Down" by Chris Jericho.
Wow. Okay. So
You know I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, break the wall down. I didn't even like rock music back then. I only listened to hip hop back then. I was like, this shit is hard.
AJ Francis, top 5, in no particular order: Mark Henry, John Cena, The Rock, Bret Hart, and Chris Jericho.
I like that list.
Break the wall down, man.
That's not a bad list. Shout out to Break the
You
Walls
gotta
Down.
specify break the wall down.
Yeah, especially
though,
this generation, AJ,
Yeah.
because you might get Judas for some people.
Yeah, it's like when people hear no, and they go, "See, my days are cold without you," and I'm like, wait a minute.
We're talking to AJ Francis here, TNA Wrestling superstar. Always a good time. Can't wait to have you back here in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, so again, your top 5: Mark Henry, John Cena, The Rock, Hitman, and Break the Walls Down by Chris Jericho. Hey, another good low-key one that nobody thinks about. You guys are going to hate this. Jonathan Coachman always had a really good theme
Are you
song.
kidding me, bro? Jonathan Coachman?
Play it.
Man, I mean,
Sing
it's
it.
not a
Have it,
bad
play
theme
it.
song.
I can't.
It's not a bad theme song, but come on, man.
Maybe it's not in the top 25, but I'm just saying, low key, I heard it the other day for the first time.
And if I'm
gosh,
being completely honest, like I said this list because I excluded myself from it, but considering I made the song, like I don't think nobody's interest music is better than any of the musics I've had, whether it be We Outside or it be the Hit Row song. I made them in my house right here on this mic right here.
Hey, since we're here, I know we got to talk about a lot of wrestling stuff, but I want to ask you, since you got a microphone, you mentioned the studio. I know you listen to a lot of hip hop music. We're on a wrestling podcast. Give me your top 3 Memphis rappers then, since we're talking about rappers right now. We're talking about you talking about being in the studio.
It's like I'm from Maryland, so
Okay.
we have a couple rappers from the Baltimore area, from the DC area that a lot of people know. But like we don't have like a city full of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have. Memphis is one of those cities that has a city full of top-notch rappers. And I'm fans of a lot of them. Young Dolph, first and foremost.
Okay.
Key Glock.
Okay.
And then probably, I would say 3 6 Mafia, but I was also a kid when they was really running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I really bang with like Black Youngster.
Okay. All the current guys. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yo Gotti, obviously. Glorilla.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Memphis is like sneakily one of the best rap cities in the world.
Go ahead and take out the one of the.
The only rap cities that probably have more people to claim are like way bigger cities like Atlanta and New York and LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like as far as like non-super major cities, Memphis is probably the best one.
Salute, for real. All right, go ahead.
Catching up here with AJ Francis. We've talked a little bit more about music than what we expected to, but really, really good stuff. We started off the program talking about Sid Vicious, and he passed away peacefully at his home. Did not know that he was really that sick. I think he was hiding it from his friends and family. But AJ, you're a big guy. You know, you're a student of the game. Did you watch Sid Vicious? Was there any inspiration from Sycho Sid or Sid Justice for a big man like you getting in the business?
The main thing that I really took from Sid Vicious would be understated aura. Like you never see me go out and let's go, man, and never. You never see me do that. That's not I don't have to do all that. I can walk in the room. I walk to the ring. I take my time to the ring. I don't ever speed up for nobody. And it's just letting the people see you, making the people react to you. Sid did that. And also, obviously, the powerbomb. Powerbomb, he's not the only guy that did the powerbomb as a finish, but he's one of the most iconic ones. So, I would definitely say that. And, he obviously had an incredible career, and I wish nothing but the best to his family.
AJ Francis. All right, so we got to bring you back to Memphis, Tennessee. When's this going to happen? I think we talked about December and maybe a couple others.
You got to come when there's a Grizzly game so you can pull up to a Grizz game.
Man.
I'm with it, man. Dustin, just like how WWE got my number, you got my number, gang.
Don't act like I don't text you randomly just for no reason.
You did text me. I mean, like I said, we already talked about it. I'll definitely be there in December. I'm waiting for you to tell me about September. I'm waiting for, I'll be there all 2025 if you act right.
Look, I talked to AJ. I sent him a text about coming and coming on here and talking to us, and I sent him a couple dates. He's like, I'll take all of them.
All of them.
And I'm like, whoa, wait just a second.
Hey.
He's like, wait, you don't understand. I'm available for all of them. Just book me.
Yeah. If you don't, somebody else is going to. I'm trying to help you out.
The name ringer for sure in the streets. I see you got the Maryland on your chest.
I saw you got the permanent. Jonathan Gresham rub. I don't know why I'm just am I too tall? We both
Oh, here we go.
You guys,
we both bald with beards. Is it a height thing?
Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, it might be
have
a
you
high
seen
thing.
Jonathan Gresham standing next to me?
That's a little bitty dude, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, me standing next to AJ, I'm looking up like this, like for a shoot.
I think it's a height thing, man. I think
it might be. It might be a heightest. You may be a heightest 5-star. I think you might be a heightest. We might have got a heightest on the show.
Well, so Jonathan's coming back September 15th. I mean, it sounds like there might be a little challenge being issued here. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
height versus height.
I ain't scared of nobody, man. Only thing I'm scared of is the tax man.
Hey, I love it. I see you got that Maryland on your chest. You went to University of Maryland. Yeah. Hey, I know I saw Wale said he'll be at the game this week, maybe. Are you going to be showing your guys some love, or what you got going on?
As I previously mentioned with Dustin sitting on his hands, I am booked this weekend. But I will be at the University of Maryland next weekend.
Okay.
For their game versus Michigan State, and I'll also be at the game when they play Iowa later in the year for my annual canned food drive. So I will be at those two games guaranteed. Other games, I'm not sure yet. Depends on how it fits in my schedule. Every other Saturday in between those days, I'm booked. So,
well, we run on Sunday, so we're good.
I'm booked and busy, man.
I'm booked, man. I'm booked. I'm trying to help Dustin out. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to help him out. He pussyfooting around, and
Look,
what I'm saying?
I would think because you play. Hey, AJ, you play for his favorite team, bro. You would think he would show some love, right?
Yeah.
You played for the Dolphins.
Me and him talked about it, me coming to Memphis Wrestling on a permanent basis like 6 months ago, and then he's like, "Yeah, man, we'll think about that, man. That's a good idea." And then I see Jonathan Gresham is permanently part of the roster.
I think we're all out of time. I think we've gone long.
That's crazy.
I think we've gone long in this interview.
No. We gonna get AJ here, man.
I see how it is.
AJ, we gotta get you to come take a seat.
I'm just chopped liver. You know what I'm saying?
For a shoot, AJ's one of my favorite guys to book, and this is one of the reasons why. It's just always so fun. AJ, thank you so much for joining us here today on Grind City Wrestling, and I'll see you in December, if not before then.
Hell yeah, I'll see you then, baby.
Appreciate you, AJ.
Peace.
AJ Francis, TNA Wrestling superstar, giving us his top 5 based off this Bleacher Report mess. Mark Henry, John Cena, The Rock, Bret Hart, and Break the Walls Down.
Yeah, I like that. I like the good list. That's a pretty good list. The Mark Henry one's the one because it's like people don't really bring that one up. And I saw a lot of performers the other day. Somebody tweeted like people forget about how hard this entrance was. You got Juicy J and DJ Paul walking out to it. So yeah, stamp that. AJ Francis is 101, man. Shout out to him, man. He's always showing love.
Always good to catch up with AJ Francis. Okay, so now we got to talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. Devin, you are up first.
Okay, so we had, I'm going to ask a serious question right now. I'm going to ask a question to you. AJ's frozen, but I'm going to ask this question to you. AEW All In, it's AEW's WrestleMania, right?
Yeah. Is it All In or All Out? Which one?
Well, which one are we in? We in or we out? I don't know. I think it's All In because it's Wembley. It's in the stadium.
Okay.
So
All Out's coming up
it's
soon.
It's their WrestleMania, right?
There you go.
That's
okay.
my first question. It's a WrestleMania, right? Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you another question, 5-star. Do you have a moment from this Wembley show that you can remember? Yes or no?
Well, seeing as I was at the Memphis Wrestling Wrestle Center with a sold-out house and the Sandman, this pay-per-view was on at like 1 p.m.
Yes.
So I didn't get to see it.
That's my point. You just made my point, but what you just said. It is AEW's WrestleMania, right? Their biggest show, their biggest card, and you just told me I didn't even see it.
You make it more difficult to watch. And I understand Wembley's a big deal, a lot of people, a lot of money, all this stuff, but you have your core audience who are used to, they're trained for 7 p.m., either on a Saturday
show, right?
or a Sunday,
a
7 p.m. It makes it very, very difficult. The Bash in Berlin's coming up, and it's not going to be at 7 p.m. for WWE.
And that's a premium live event. We don't.
Right.
To be honest, we really don't.
We can log on to WWE Network on Peacock and watch that whenever we want. But AEW is a little bit different. You can't really do that.
Exactly. So that was my point. I had to make a point before I give you my best wrestling. That AEW, you have a big show. Your biggest debut was Ricochet coming out, and people weren't really buzzing about it. So.
Well, now Ricochet's online clapping back at a lot of fans.
He's not
tweeting him.
He's not happy about it. Look, bro,
No.
his feet are at the fire right now. You're not the, you know what I'm saying? You're the shiny to an AEW, so that means you're opening yourself up to a lot. But, my best wrestling of the week is probably, it's interesting because I'm loving this. I'll talk about the Bloodline feud that's happening, but I think for me, the best wrestling this week is probably what happened last night or earlier this week on Monday Night Raw. I am one 5-star who on this show, I've talked crazy about Damian Priest. I've said he's a zesty taker. He doesn't deserve to be a top guy. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve that.
I don't understand the zesty taker, but
He looks like a freaky Undertaker.
okay.
He looks like a freaky Undertaker. I mean, that's pretty much it. But I am loving every bit of this ongoing story with the Judgment Day, which is the new Judgment Day, which is not that good. But I love this battle between them and the Terror Twins is what they call them.
Terror Twins, I love that.
And my girl Rhea Ripley, because I think it's the perfect feud, right? It's the perfect. You got the real life story with Dom and Rhea. Like, I love every bit of this. So for me, the best wrestling of the week is the feud between the Judgment Day and the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. You know what's funny too? When they came out, right, for the run-in, whose music played?
Was it Rhea's?
It was Rhea's.
Yeah,
because she's a star. Remember that.
So a couple of notes here. It's definitely a star. You see the new Judgment Day lined up on the top of the ramp before they come out, and they all look very even.
They do.
J.D. McDonough actually looks like a superstar in that group now. And
His head is massive.
His head is massive, but he's in great shape. He can talk. He can wrestle. He's there. I think Finn Balor has to be the leader, even though it's like Dom has more heat than everybody.
He has bro. By the way, I'm looking at this camera right now. Where's the camera at? Dom is the best heel in wrestling right now.
The people love him.
The best heel in wrestling right now. Dominic Mysterio is the best heel in wrestling right now.
Another thing that I like about this feud that's different than a lot of stuff that WWE does is it is a intergender tag team match.
Yes.
They do not do this a lot, and I would imagine that they're going to have to change the rules a little bit to where the men and women can wrestle against each other in this match. Because sometimes, they'll force them to tag out, which to me makes no sense, but especially Rhea Ripley being the monster she
hit
is.
the red tide on a dude yesterday.
Yeah, Liv Morgan is the women's world champion, so hey, let's mix it up. I'm looking forward to that mixed tag team match for sure.
That is for sure stamped for me. I love everything about this feud right now.
Best wrestling that I watched all week is different. So I'm going left field. I'm going to be a little bit of a homer, but you'll understand it's kind of funny. So we're going through what we're going to do with Sandman on Sunday.
I love these behind-the-scenes stories from Sandman.
And literally out of the clear blue, and I didn't know he was that much into this podcast, but him and his sons, I think, do this Sandman podcast. And so he looked at his phone, and I think he got a text message about All In because it was about to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
And he looks up at me and he goes, "Can you believe that my son thinks that Bryan Danielson's going to win the world title and beat Swerve tonight?" And I looked at him and I was like mentally checking myself like, well, hold on a second. How should you respond to this? And I go, well, yeah, because he is. Bryan Danielson's going to beat Swerve tonight. And he looked at me like, really? And then lo and behold, what happened?
He won the belt. I hate that, by the way. I hate it, bro.
It's the retirement
But
thing.
that's the thing. That's my point, though. Like, we talk about, that is your WrestleMania 5-star. And your big moment was supposed to be Danielson beating Swerve, right, for the world title. And guess who gives a damn about it? Nobody.
What do you
Sting
do?
comes back again. Who gives a damn about it? Nobody.
I know I wasn't in that AEW All-In bubble this weekend, but I feel like that I did not see as much of it as what I should have.
Because it was, yeah, exactly. AEW be better. You sold out the show, but the show did not move the way y'all thought it would.
Couple of quick notes. We had the Sandman on Sunday, sold every seat in the house. He was absolutely fantastic. Do you know that the Sandman doesn't really drink beer anymore? It's only hard liquor for him.
So the Ghost River shirt didn't really get the job done?
No, he liked the Ghost River, but I mean, he prefers the hard stuff, brother.
Shout out Sandman, man. He gave me some love. Well, RVD gave me some love on the clip from last week.
He did.
Shout out RVD with the retweet. Shout out to you, man. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. That made me feel good inside because one of my favorite wrestlers gave me a quote tweet. So, yeah, it's dope.
Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham are tag teaming on the program this week on Memphis Wrestling. You got to check that out. Tag team, mixed tag team match, just like we talked about with WWE. The Lane Dynasty versus Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham. The Sandman episode is going to air on September the 7th, for those of you wondering.
Okay.
And I wanted to take just a second before we get out of here to talk a little bit more about Sycho Sid Vicious. I mentioned earlier that the reports coming is that he passed away peacefully at his home. It was reported by his son, Gunnar Udy. 1996, Sycho Sid was the boss. Madison Square Garden against HBK Shawn Michaels for the World Championship. Nobody thought that Sycho Sid had a chance to win that. You know, WWF before had put him in the ring with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Then, of course, he went to WCW, came back in 1996 just in spectacular shape.
He looked good, man. He looked good.
Took the camera away from the cameraman, and then he hit Shawn Michaels as manager. And it caused this big thing, and then Sid won the match, and I could not believe it. I can't even tell you. Now, first of all, we were always proud to see Jerry the King Lawler on WWF. But then when he feuded with Bret Hart and he got his foot stuck in his mouth, my dad was so mad. Why is Jerry Lawler doing this stupid stuff and embarrassing him? Now that I'm grown up, like I know why. It was entertaining. It was fun. He was getting paid and all that stuff. And then you had a guy like Jeff Jarrett that eventually met the pinnacle, you know, won WCW world title and all that kind of stuff.
By the way, should be on the list for best theme songs of all time.
My Baby Tonight?
King of the Mountain, yes. King of the Mountain. I want King of the Mountain on the list. Shout out Jeff Jarrett, man.
King of the Mountain's got to be on A list. I don't know if it's...
I love Jeff Jarrett so much, man. I need a Jeff Jarrett shirt in my collection really, really bad.
But then when you have Sycho Sid Vicious, a guy that literally lived in Marion, Arkansas, right across the bridge.
Right across the bridge, man. His son was on Big Brother.
Son was on Big Brother.
He represented Memphis all the time on when he was on Big Brother.
Sycho Sid was notorious for requesting time off to go play softball.
Respectfully.
Which I think we had somebody in the studio just a second ago before we went on the air talking about Sycho Sid and his skill to play softball. But to watch Sycho Sid beat Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden and win the world title, kid Dustin Starr was so proud of that Memphis guy doing it big. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, especially 1996 Sid Vicious.
I love it. Rest in peace, Sid Vicious, man. Like I said, for me, I'm a youngin' when it comes to the game, but I do remember Sid Vicious. One of the worst injuries in wrestling history, by the way. I would never forget that. Also, the promo when Goldberg, he turns the corner and Goldberg is like destroyed his car. He's like, my car! So those are the two, for me, those are the two moments for me that stuck out the most when it comes to Sid Vicious. Is I hate the broken leg situation, but the promo when he turned the corner, his car smushed to smithereens.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
And it was great. It was a great reaction.
It was a viral moment before the viral moments were even a viral moment.
And I know one sad thing is I saw some people brought it up yesterday is he had just tweeted that he was going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2025.
Well, I think he was tweeting that he thinks 2025 should be his year. With Vince being gone, because Vince McMahon did not like Sid Vicious, and I'm sure there's reasons or whatever, and it might have something to do with softball, actually. But he felt like 2025 is going to be the year. He's not getting any younger, obviously. And again, just to pull the curtain back a little bit more, I don't even know if you and I talked about this, but I had been texting Sid Vicious here in the last month and a half, 2 months.
Wow.
Trying to get Sid Vicious to make a trip across the bridge and come do a VIP session. I wanted to schedule that for November because if you know, 1996 Survivor Series was in November, and do a big thing like commemorating him making it to be that world champion. And unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to get him here.
Wow, man.
But also now I feel like we know why.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. So rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Sid Vicious. One of the good ones, man. He put on for Memphis. He put on for around this area. So shout out Sid Vicious.
One last master and ruler of the world.
I think I have a Sid Vicious card on my desk. I should have brought it up to the studio today. Dang it.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here on Grind City Wrestling. Lots of fun talking to AJ Francis. I love talking about Sid Vicious. I just hate talking about it under these circumstances. We have a loaded lineup coming up. Devin, what do you have going on this weekend?
This weekend, it's football season, bro. Football season's kicking off. Memphis football have their season opener on Saturday. It's not on one day on Sunday.
Yeah.
I won't be there.
I'm going to head out to Ghost River. I hear they're doing a big thing on Main Street.
Yeah, I won't be there.
I'm going to go check it out if I can talk Maria out of the house.
I'm not hanging out anywhere downtown on Main.
Have you seen how pregnant my wife is?
She's very pregnant.
Bro.
You're about to have a baby, bro.
I'm going to have a baby any week now.
Are you going to stop this podcast to have your baby? Or no?
Yes, you guys are going to have to handle that. I
I
cannot suffer any more heat.
We got to get E-Rock back in here, bro. This man we got this new studio. We got this new digs, and this man not even in studio. But
is he still podding with us?
He's still podding. He's still remember the Pod Squad.
There we
remember
go.
the trios. The trios tag team looking. Yeah, we got to get him right here next week.
All right, coming up for Memphis Wrestling, Saturday, September 7th, we're live at the Dyer County Fair in Dyersburg, Tennessee. It'll be the 4th year in a row. That's going to be awesome. Then on September 13th, that's a Friday night, Lauderdale County Fair in Ripley, Tennessee. Wrestling is free at both of those, and Lauderdale County Fair is actually a free fair. Then on September 15th, we have Jonathan Gresham on the way. And I know I was supposed to have him on the podcast here, but I have not gotten approval.
Yeah, you gotta get approval, bro.
So wait a second. How can we get approval for AJ Francis to be on the pod?
And he talks wild, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say out of pocket, but I don't know that he was out of pocket.
He's just wild. He just doesn't have a filter, which I love.
But
That's
if
why I
we
wanted
have,
him on. When you asked me who do I want on, I said AJ Francis immediately.
You did. You actually did.
Top
That was
dollar.
it.
Shout out.
Boom.
I wanted to ask him about the fall, but I feel like he gets asked about the fall a lot. So.
Now he might come through the TV.
Yeah, I need to bring.
But
that
yeah, I
up.
don't know what's up with that. So hopefully we'll have Jonathan Gresham on here soon. September 20th, we're in New Albany, Mississippi for Ingomar Baseball. Huge fundraiser at Big John Dalton School. 21st, we're at Ghost River on Main Street.
Turn up.
You are going to want to be there for that. That's going to be awesome. And then also September 23rd, that's a Monday night. Memphis Wrestling returns to Monday nights at Landers Center for the Mid-South Fair.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what you got going on, bro? But okay, this is the fair.
Those tickets
This is
at
the fair.
memphiswrestling.tv. And that's all the time we have this week on Grind City Wrestling. For Devin Walker, AJ Francis, I am Dustin Starr saying, so long, everybody.